Question 1. Solve the following system of linear equations using elimination method. So here we have 3 different linear equations with 3 different unknowns. So we have to solve simultaneously and we have to use elimination method. Okay. So the guide to solve this, you can imagine like this. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So initially you will start with 3 unknowns, then you work your way down to 2 unknowns, and then you get 1 unknown where you can solve. Once you solve the first unknown, you can find 2 unknowns, and then you can solve all 3. Okay, maybe it'll make more sense once we start doing it lah. Right, so when you have 3 different linear equations like this, and you want to use elimination method, you have to make either x, y or z same. So let's just try making y same lah. Okay, because two of it is already same. The other one is 3. Let's just try making all this into a single, the same number. So 5, 5 and 3, we can cross multiply, we can get 15. So all of the y, we can make it into 15. So to make 5y into 15, we multiply 3. The second one is the same, we multiply 3. The third one is 3y, you want to make it 15, we multiply 5. So we are going to get, okay, so let's just multiply in, we'll get 21x plus 15y minus 3 times 3, we get minus 9z. 16 times 3 will get 48. And then the second equation, 3x times 3, we get 9x. Negative 5y times 3 is negative 15y. 2z times 3 will be 6z. Negative 8 times 3, negative 24. The last one, 5 times 5 is 25x. 3y times 5 is 15y. Negative 7z times 5 is negative 35z. And 0 times 5 is 0. Okay, this is our first step. Okay, so this one still has 3 different unknowns. Right, let's label these. This is our first equation, second equation, and third equation. So from here, we have to eliminate something. So obviously, we're going to eliminate the y's lah. Okay, you have to pick 2. So let's say we take 1 and 2, and then the other one you can take 1 and 3, or you can take 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. So equation 1, equation 2, and then the other one you can pick, let's say 2 and 3 lah. Okay, so equation 1 and equation 2, if we want to get rid of the y, one is positive, one more is negative. So if you want to get rid, you want to cancel off, you have to add these 2 equations. Because 15 plus negative 15 will give us 0. If you minus, okay, let me show you. If you do minus 15 minus negative 15, we will not be eliminating it. We will get 30y instead, which is not what we want now. So we add 15 with negative 15, we will get 0. So what we have to do here is plus. So let's add these 2 equations. Okay, this one plus this one. 21x plus 9 will give us 30x. 15 minus 15 is 0, eliminated already. Negative 9 plus 6 will give us negative 3z. And then 48 plus negative 24 is 24. Okay, done. So this will be our fourth equation. Okay, and then over this side, we solve 2 and 3. So you want to get rid of the 15. Here is the same, one is negative, one more positive. So we have to add them up. Then only we can eliminate it. So 9 plus 25x would be 34x. And then these 2 you plus, you get 0. These 2 we plus, we will get, you can use your calculator, 6 minus 35 is negative 29z. And then negative 24 plus 0, we get negative 24. This will be our fifth equation. Okay, so now you see, now we are already here. First, initially we had 3 unknowns, and then the second step we have now 2 unknowns. Now we have to make it into 1 unknown. Okay, so let's look at the third step. I think I labeled here lah. So here we had 3, here we had 2, now we have to make it 1. Okay, how to make it 1? Here they already say we have to use elimination method. So if you want to use elimination method, this equation and this equation we have to try to eliminate. Okay, what we can do is we can modify this equation a bit. Right. So this equation, the whole thing can be divided by 3. So if we divide it by 3, we get 10x minus z equals to 8. Okay. Now, you want to eliminate something from here, we have to make one element same. So we have 1z here, we have 29z here. So we can work with this lah, easily we can times. Okay, this whole equation you times 29, you will get 29z, 29z. Then we can eliminate. But if you choose to do x, a bit susah lah, because 10x you want to make it into 34, you have to multiply both numbers. Okay, so now what we can do is this whole equation we times 29. So we'll get 290x minus 29z equals to 29 times 8. We get 232. Okay, so this equation is our modified equation number 4. Okay, this is the equation, but we divided it by 10, then we multiplied by 29. Why we did this? So that we can eliminate the z. Okay, so let's look at the next step. You can write down the equations like 290 minus 29z is 232. Then this equation is 34x minus 29 is negative 24. Okay, so what to do in this step? We want to get rid of this. Negative 29 and negative 29, it must be minus or plus. Let's check out. Negative 29 minus negative 29, we'll get rid of it. Okay, so the whole equation we have to minus. If you're confused, you can try it out with your calculator. If you plus, it will not get rid of it. So we minus this whole thing. 290 minus 34, we get 256x, and then this minus this will cancel off. So 232 minus negative 24 equals to 256. So here we can make x the subject. X will be 256 over 256, which is 1. Okay, I think you are slowly getting it. So I hope lah. So you can see, so I put here. Okay, so you can see here we had 3 different unknowns, x, y, and z. Here we solved it to make it 2 unknowns, x and z. And then we eliminated the z, and here now we only have 1 unknown. So we worked our way from 3 unknowns, 2 unknowns, 1 unknown. So this one done. Now we are finding, we already found 1 unknown. We need to find the second unknown. Okay. So here, let's change color a bit. Okay. So once we find x equals to 1 already, now we are working our way here. So what you can do is you can put this into any of these equations to solve to solve z. Okay, let's just choose this equation lah. Okay. So 290x minus 29z equals to 232. So this will become negative 29z is 232 minus 290. So here z will equal to 232 minus 290, which is negative 58 over negative 29. So z will equals to 2. Okay, so what I did here was I minus this and then this one I brought to divide lah. So we get z equals to 2. Okay, then so this will be 2. Okay, we solved 1 already. Now we solved 2 already, x and z. Now we need to find y. So to solve y, you put back into any of the first equations, because here only you got y. So you can choose anything lah. Okay, let's just go with the second one. It looks a bit simpler. So 9x minus 15y. 9x minus 15y plus 6z is negative 24. Yep. Okay. So we know the x is 1. Y we don't know. Z we know is 2. Negative 24. So negative 15y, we can bring this and this over that side. So it will be negative 24 minus 9. Okay, so when you bring that become minus 9. This is 12, we bring that become minus 12. So you get negative 45. Therefore, y will equal to negative 45 over negative 15, which is just 3. Okay, that's it. So to conclude our final answer, you can say x equals to 1, y equals to 3, and z equals to 2. This is how to solve simultaneous equations using, with 3 unknowns. This will be the answer. Done. Okay, so this will be the method. First you have 3 unknowns, you break it down to 2, then you make it 1, and then you solve 2, and then you solve 3. Okay, so once you get one unknown ready, the second unknown you will find using the second step. The third unknown you will find using the 3. Okay, so it's like, okay, until you get to 1 is one, this is one process, and then from 1 getting it back to 3 is another process. Okay, so you remember that for the second step 2, you need to use the step 2's equation. Then for step 3, you need to use step 3's equations. Yeah. So this is like a nice way of remembering how to solve it. It's like a nice template. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Right. Let's look at the next question. Okay. B. So same thing. The first step, we need to make one of the terms into same number. So here, maybe we can just do x lah. Okay, here also will be same only. Right, so 4, 1 and 3. So all of these we can make it into 12. So the first equation we times 3. Second equation we must times 12. Third equation, to make 3x into 12 we must times 4. Okay, so first equation will be 12x negative 2y times 3, we get negative 6y. 3z times 3 is plus 9z. 1 times 3 is 3. Second equation, x times 12 is 12x. 3y times 12 is 36y. Negative 4 times 12 is negative 48z. Negative 7 times 12 will be negative 84. Then 3x times 4 is 12x. Y times 4 is 4y. 2z times 4 is 8z. 5 times 4 is 20. Done. This is our 3. So you can label this as equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. Now we need to make it into 2. Okay. So we can do equation 1 and 2, and then equation 2 and 3. You want to do 1 and 3 also can lah. 1, 2 and 1, 3. Up to you. Okay. So here it's quite straightforward. You have 12x. You want to eliminate 12x, you just have to minus. So equation 1 minus equation 2. Same thing goes with the 2 and 3. 12x, you want to eliminate 12x, you have to minus. So 2 minus 3. So let's look at 1 minus 2 first. So 12x minus 12x is 0. 6y minus 36y. Okay, if you're unsure, you can use your calculator. Okay, but if you're very sure with your numbers, you can straight away do lah. Minus 42y. 9z minus negative 48 is 57. Then 3 minus negative 84 is 87. Right. Let's look at 2 minus 3. So these 2 minus off. 36 minus 4 is 32. Negative 48z minus 8 will be negative 56z. And then negative 84 minus 20 will give us minus 104. Let's just double check. Negative 84 minus 20. Yeah, correct lah. Alright. So this is the second step. I put double circles lah, so we know the double circle is just a step. Okay. Right, 3, 2 done. So now we have 2 different equations with 2 different unknowns. Okay. Now we have to get rid of something. So we have to make either one of it same lah. Okay, so we either make y same or we make the z same. How to make this same? Okay, we can, if you really don't know, you can cross multiply. But I think we can try to simplify this equation first. 32, 56 can be made into 4 over 7. So 32 to become 4, we divided it by 8. So let's see, 104 can divide 8 not? Can. So this whole equation can be divided by 8. So 32 divide 8, we get 4y. 56 divide 8, we get 7z. And 104 divide 8, we get 13. Alright. Now maybe a little bit simpler. So now this 4y, we can try to make it 42. 42 divided by 4. We get fractions. Okay, let's see. No choice lah. Never mind. No choice. What we do is we make it into 84. So this equation, this 4y, we try to make it into 84. This one we times 2 to make it into 84. So 84 divided by 4 is 21. So this whole equation we must times 21. So we'll get 84y. Negative 7 times 21 is negative 147z. Negative 13 times 21 is... Okay. This side, we can make this 84 by multiplying by 2. So we get negative 84y. 57 times 2 is 114. 87 times 2 will be 174. Okay, this is the simplest that I can think of. Right, so now we have two equations. Okay, now we can try to eliminate. Okay, this might be a bit confusing if you don't understand how I simplified it and then I made it the simplest way possible. But if you really don't understand exam, right, okay, the easiest way is, if you want to make this same, you just multiply each other. That means 42y, the whole equation you multiplied with 32, and then this whole equation you can multiply with 42. Why I didn't do like that? Because I want smaller numbers, easier to manage. If you multiply 32 with 42, it's going to give us big number. That means if you multiply the whole equation by 42, it's going to give us big numbers. It's not wrong, you can do, but it's just going to be big numbers. Okay, so I like to simplify it first. If the whole equation can divide by 8, I divide by 8 first to make it simpler. And then I try to figure out how to make the y's same. So 4y, I cannot make it into 42. So what I do is, this one I double it, make it 84. And then this one I times 21, I get this one. Okay, let's continue. So we already 3, 2. Next, our next step is finding 1. Alright, so here we can eliminate the y. How to eliminate negative 84 and 84? Okay, let's write first. Negative 84y plus 114z. And then 84y minus 147. Negative 273. Okay, so now we want to get rid of this. We have to plus or minus. Let's check. Negative 84 plus 84. Settle deal. So we have to plus. So these two equations we plus. So what we can do is, we label this equation 4, equation 5. We say the next step is equation 4 plus 5. Right. So plus plus, this will cancel off. 114 plus negative 147. You get negative 33z. 174 plus negative 273 is negative 99. So from here, z will be negative 99 over negative 33. We get 3. Done. So we've already solved 1. Once you already solved 1, it's time to solve the other 2. Okay. So let's see how to solve the other 2. 3, 2, 1. You want to get back to 2, you have to use either one of these equations. So, so z is 3, we put it into, okay, let's just pick this equation. So negative 84y plus 114z equals to 174. So from here, 174, this one we bring there will become minus 114 times 3. It's negative 168. So y will be negative 168 over negative 84. We get 2. And finally, we solve the last step, which is finding x. So we already got y, we already got z. To solve this, we have to use back one of these equations. Let's just pick the first one. 12x plus 6y, just copy lah. Copy, then I paste here. Okay. Now we have to substitute the z and the y. So y we found just now was 2. Z is 3. So we put this in our calculator. 12x equals to 3. Actually, no need to write lah. You want to do it one by one, can? Okay, let me just show you one by one. So negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. 9 times 3 is 27. So you put in your calculator 3 plus 12 minus 27. Okay, we bring all of these that side. So 12x equals to negative 12, which will make x is negative 12 over 12. So negative 12 over 12 is just 1. Done. So to conclude, we can say x is 1, y is 2, z is 3. Done. This will be our final answer. Okay. So these are you can use this as a template, but in exam you don't have to write this lah. Okay, this one is just for you. So 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Or 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3 unknowns, 2 unknowns, 1 unknown. And then using the 1 unknown, you solve 2 unknowns. And then you solve all 3 unknowns. Done. That's it. So you can use this as a nice template to guide you. Bye-bye.